Somos más de 2,500. If you're just now stumbling on this channel or just haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the bell icon to join La Comunidad and so you can see todos mis videos en el futuro. Speaking is one of the most important things you can do when learning a new language, which is why I constantly harp on that in this channel. You literally want to be speaking every single day, but that can be extremely stressful when you have a lot of anxiety about speaking your target language. Trust me, I know. This was a big problem for me. I had put myself on a super strict regimen to learn Spanish, and I was learning and using the language every single day, but I didn't actually speak with anybody until I had been learning for a little over a year. That may not seem like a big deal, especially because I speak fairly well now, but I only had the growth that got me here once I started speaking out loud to other people. I was so anxious about speaking that I literally would try to think through every conversation in advance if I had enough prep time. So for example, we've got these Mexican bakeries here in Dallas, and if I had decided to myself that I was gonna go to one, I would try to think through the potential conversation before I even got there. So, thinking, well, what could I say and what might they say in response? And my brain would replay those potential scenarios every step of the way. So from my house to the car ride over there, while I waited in line, while I pretended to need more time looking at the menu, until I finally got up to the counter and I was damn near sweating by that point. The fear or the worry of being wrong or sounding dumb was almost like paralyzing for me. So if you have that same fear or that same level of anxiety about speaking your target language, in this video, I want to share two different types of advice with you. The biggest part of getting past this is changing your mindset. So I want to start by giving you 4 pointers to help reshape your mindset, and then I'm going to give you 4 practical tips that you can actually take action on. Stop trying to be perfect. You make mistakes in English and you've been speaking that forever. If nothing else is guaranteed on your language learning journey, you can 1000% count on the fact that you're going to make mistakes. But the faster you accept that and the more you start talking, the faster you can fix those guaranteed errors and move past them. So, in other words, you can either make those mistakes today and be well past them a year from now, or you can keep waiting and a year from now be just now making the mistakes that you could have been done corrected. Which one sounds better to you? See mistakes as lessons. Mistakes don't mean that you failed or that you just suck at Spanish. What they are opportunities to improve your language. With language learning, you can't let the potential for error keep you from trying because the potential for success is even higher if you do. Realize that no one gives a damn. In the United States, people are overly critical of English learners who make a lot of mistakes or who have a heavy accent, which is ridiculous because English is an incredibly hard language to learn, so you should have more respect for those people, I'm just saying. But because so many Americans are so harsh on English learners, a lot of us are afraid that native speakers of our target language are going to treat us or look at us that same way as we're trying to learn their language. I can tell you that that has 100% not been my experience. Anytime I've told a native Spanish speaker that I was learning their language, they've always been super supportive and incredibly excited that I actually was wanting to learn their language. They were also super complimentary of my accent and my knowledge, which ended up being even more motivating for me. It's kind of one of those situations where you're afraid to open the closet because there could be a monster in there. But by the time you finally build up the courage to open the closet, you find out it's been empty the whole time. Even when I made mistakes, people often didn't even blink twice. I've even heard native speakers make mistakes. No one cares. Remember the point of language. The point isn't to be perfect and error-free. The point is to get a message to another person. Maybe you should have said por and you said para, or you should have said el but you said la. But did they understand you? And did you understand their response? Good enough. You want to constantly improve your Spanish so that you're not just speaking broken Spanish, but at the same time, unless you're going to try to be a translator or you have a profession where you must have flawless Spanish, don't aim for perfection. Aim for being a good communicator. All right, so now that we're good on mindset, right? We're good? We're good on mindset. Here are some 4 tips you can actually use to take action on. Use music. I also have a separate video on how you can use music to learn Spanish. Music is a fantastic tool for learning a language because it tricks you into speaking the language out loud through the lyrics. It helps you with your accent, pronunciation, your listening skills, your speed. I mean, it really is the total package. Listen more. Listen to TV, interviews, the radio, anything in your target language. One of my biggest worries in the beginning was, well, what if I don't even understand anything? But the beauty of it is listening to spoken Spanish, whether you understand everything or not, is going to be a huge help versus just learning from textbooks and phone apps. Because even if you finish a whole textbook or complete a whole language learning phone app, you might still get out into the real world and hear real Spanish speakers and still not understand anything. When you're reading, you can read and process everything at your own speed. But when you're listening to other people talk, you now have to process everything at their speed. But the biggest thing is, just like in English, the way that real people talk is not textbook. You didn't learn English slang in school. You learned it by listening to other people and talking with them. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Do that exact same thing with your target language. Listen to how other people speak and then use that to improve your own language. Conduct interviews with yourself. This one's going to sound weird, but I promise you it's going to help. I do this even still today with myself. Think of an open-ended question that somebody might ask you in an interview or even if you were just meeting somebody for the first time. Don't think of any yes or no questions. Think of something that you actually have to respond to. It can be anything. Maybe somebody asks what you majored in college and why you picked that major. Or maybe it's, what do you do for work? What does a normal day at work look like for you? When I do this, I might repeat the same question to myself over several days or, a length of time until I feel comfortable with my ability to quickly respond to that question. This helped me feel much more confident in my ability to just create my own responses mentally. Your brain is like your conversation storage, so the more that you prep and practice and listen and speak, the bigger your mental storage is going to be and the more you'll be able to draw from in real conversations so that you're not just like, sí, no, sí, all the time. You want to be able to have real conversations and really add value to a conversation. All right, and the last tip, find a supportive person who speaks your target language. Although I waited forever to do this, don't do that. Find somebody today. If you have family or a friend that can help, that's great, but it's also important to keep in mind that you need somebody who speaks both your target language and your native language. But most importantly, you need someone that's got enough patience to deal with your slow responses and to deal with your mistakes. You want somebody who also knows how to correct you appropriately so that you don't feel beat down with every correction. So just keep that in mind. Otherwise, this can end up becoming a setback rather than a helper. Your conversations with your person that you speak with should feel good. If you leave these conversations feeling bad about yourself or your Spanish abilities, then that's a good sign that you probably need to find somebody else. Not everyone is meant to be a teacher, so don't just give that job freely to just anybody. Give that person kind of like a trial run, and if it doesn't work for you, don't be afraid to kind of get rid of them and get somebody else. As you get more comfortable talking to that person regularly, you're going to build your confidence in general to where you feel more confident and more secure having conversations with random people and with people outside of just that one person. It was that speaking with multiple people that really had the biggest impact on my Spanish. Because think about it, how many times have you talked to somebody and they use this phrase all the time or these specific words, and that starts to impact how you talk? It's like that with all languages. The more people you talk to, the more phrases and unique expressions that you're going to hear and that you'll probably like and want to add to your own mental collection. So those are my 8 pieces of advice to help you change your mindset and take action so that you can get past your anxiety and start speaking your target language. If you have high anxiety about speaking your target language and found something in this video that you think is going to be helpful to you, please let me know in the comments because I really would like to know. What you're going through is actually a lot more common than you might think, and this is a community of support, so we got you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Gracias por estar aquí. Hasta la próxima.